friends, in this video we're going to be making CD paintings. Now CD paintings are pretty cool in general, but we're going to spice it up a little since this is part 3 of our holiday gift giving series. This is perfect if you know that one of your friends or family members has a favorite song or album right now, because we're going to be making CDs but painting them inspired by album or song art. In this video specifically, I chose Pebblebrain by Lovejoy, All Too Well by Taylor Swift, and Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. Pretty iconic songs and albums that released pretty recently. Obviously, these are very specific, so you can follow along if you want to make the exact same CDs based on the same art, or feel inspired to make your own. I feel like this is just a really nice and heartwarming gift. Not only do you get to show them that you know things that they enjoy, but you also get to give them a really cool piece of room decor. Alright, let's just get on with the video. So first off, I started by designing the CDs that I wanted to paint first. The stuff you'll need are old CDs, paintbrushes, and acrylic paint. So for our old CDs, we want to make sure that we don't paint on the shiny side and then we paint on the graphic side. I'm going to start off by painting off my base first for all the CDs just to make things move faster, and I picked a color that is most predominant in the album cover or art that I'm reproducing. We're going to start off by painting a nice even coat on top of these CDs as our first layer, and then we'll layer on some more afterwards. Guys, this is why you don't do this really late at night. I did the wrong side! I almost did it again! To let them dry, I just put them on a high place just so that the paint doesn't crust along. I also made sure to keep the old paint for the next layers, and then afterwards I just kept on painting more layers until you just can't see the old graphic underneath anymore. As you continue laying on the paint, just make sure you try to keep the coats even and nice and not spotty in some places. And for me, it helped to just paint in the same direction across the whole CD, let that dry fully, and then just keep going with the next layer until you can't see again the graphic underneath, and until you're happy with the even coverage. Once done with that, I'm going to get started on the details for each of the CDs. Now, starting off with Olivia Rodrigo's Sour album inspired CD. She's got that whole sticker thing going on her cover, so that's what I'm going to be painting. And she uses a lot of colors and styles, just I think from like the 2000s is what I'd say it'd be. Very indie, artsy kind of aesthetic. So for the actual details of the CD, I'm just going to be painting those types of stickers on the disc. I'm first starting off by painting the base color of the stickers, and then later I'm going to go over in white to outline and make the details on the actual stickers. And like the base layer, the stickers themselves also were kind of see-through, so I just waited for the first layer to dry, and then I layered more paint. Next, I'm gonna work on my Lovejoy Pebblebrain disc, inspired directly from the album art. I'm just going to be doing a clouds, plains kinds of scenes, and the iconic seagull. Now this one I'm worried about because I feel like you need actual painting skills to paint clouds, but we're going to try here. So first I'm going in with a dark shadowed color. That's going to be the shadows of my cloud. I'm kind of just using it to shape the size of the cloud where I kind of want it to be. And later on, we're going to be layering on the other shadings and whites of the clouds. And obviously, you cannot forget about the iconic seagull, so I'm also adding him to the disc.
Is that all I've ever wanted? I know this.
Once the shadowed layer has dried, I'm gonna go in with the next set of colors for the clouds. Now going off of the album art itself, it seems like it's kind of like a sunset, orangey, kind of tinted cloud, so that's what I'm going in for my next color. I'm gonna make sure I still show some of the shadowed parts, but this is the bulk of the cloud. I'm gonna make sure that this layer dries first before going in with the next. Heading back to the Sour album disc, now I'm just kind of overlining everything with white just to show off the sticker kind of style. I feel like this was also a little bit time consuming and kind of stressful, but I think the fact that like all the shapes and everything don't look perfect kind of adds to the aesthetic, and afterwards I think it still turned out pretty great. Now let's work on the Taylor Swift inspired All Too Well disc. So for this one, I kind of want to keep it simple, and instead of doing pictures or a scene, I'm just going to do the actual font or title itself. This was inspired by what I believe to be the short film's premiere, the background that they had in there, and so I'm just going to copy that font. I'm basically just going in with a thin brush and just going over the letters. Just to help make things look more even, I'm making sure that all the letters are sized correctly, and spacing wise they're also pretty similar. And for the actual letters themselves, I started off going more thin and then going thick because it's harder to make a thick line thin again versus the other way around. And with that, the weighting of all the letters just makes it look a lot more cleaner in general. Another tip that I followed as well was outlining where I was going to draw my letters, just to keep everything again even and spaced out correctly. So I just put little dots where I turned corners, or just to outline my letters in general. And honestly, this disc is just, again, pretty simple, just overlining all the letters, make sure that the font matches, and then that was basically it for this one. Now finishing up the pebblebrain disc, I'm going in now with basically what is pure white and going through the highlights of the clouds. Not gonna lie, this is where I kind of struggled. I felt like I kind of went overkill, so I went back, did some extra shading, just kind of touched things up a bit, but honestly, I think it would look fine either way. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so. After I was done with that, I just added the green plains part of the cover art.
I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing on my mind. You got me stuck on the thought of you. You're making me feel brand new.
guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Honestly, I think these turned out pretty awesome. I honestly thought these would be really tough to make at first, but after doing them, I think they're pretty simple, pretty easy. Got them done in around 2 days. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments down below, and thank you guys just so much for watching and watching the series as well, as this is the last video we'll be making as a DIY gift for the holidays. It's been really fun, and now that it's winter break, I'll be filming a lot more videos, so get ready for those to come out as well. And I hope you guys have a happy holidays. Alright, bye!